David Teachout was born in Los Angeles in 1933. While growing up as a child, he remembers the joy and pleasure in the act of painting. But as he grew older, this interest submerged, and more practical aspects of living moved to the forefront. It was only when he was a young adult that the joy of painting resurfaced as he took art and painting classes in college in North Carolina.
I was a physics major, but I was also not sure where I was headed. And I took a couple art courses at the same time, which interestingly enough, people talked about. They thought it was rather strange that a physics major was taking art courses too.
David Teachout's early works were that of an abstract expressionist. Soon after he began abstract painting, Teachout's color textures and gestures took another path, that of color fields and simple compositions.
I got a professional degree, 5-year degree in landscape architecture. I was back in North Carolina finishing up at the School of Design, North Carolina State University. And there I got introduced to studio painting. And there were 2 or 3 really very fine artists there, a couple who had been acknowledged as in the art world. And I was painting in this studio, and I really liked it.
Color became a prime element of expression. Color took the lead, and David's painting expressed distinctions where contrast existed only because of color differences.
And I do remember the day I went to, it was a Sunday, and I went back to the school to finish up my final project in landscape architecture. It's a large project with a lot of drawing and design and so on, and a presentation drawing, or more than a drawing, a series of them. And it was going to be my final project, and I needed to get it done, and time was close to present it. And I remember walking up the stairs to a breezeway that connected the 2 buildings there. And then to the right was the studio for the design studio. It took a hold of me and turned me left to the painting studio. So I started teaching there, and I had to make a decision the next year whether to stay as a teacher in a design school or go work for a very fine design firm. I wanted to return to my home in California.
The 1980s saw Teachout starting a series of small works on paper. This started when David looked out of his window and could see abstract shapes he would use as reference. At the same time, he drew figures. These works on paper came to be titled the Santa Cruz series of paintings. Teachout came to understand spatial and color relationships. He saw formations of energy and contrast in various colors and shapes. He recognized the form of diagonals which he developed by different placements of an X on canvas. Here was an upper and a lower field emerging using the X formation on the canvas. He began to see a created association with the ground and sky, depending on the location. David also used subtle and sophisticated color shading and arrangement, always within a larger context of color relationships. Many of these Santa Cruz series have been exhibited in the growing collection at Occidental College in Los Angeles.